Okay, you know what it's time for? It's time to make the simplest ice cream in the world. 2 ingredients. 2 ingredients. And it's going to be really good. So here we go. 2 ingredients. What's one of them? The ice cream mix, right? Got to have that. Okay, now we're officially ready. And because it's the, let's see how good you are. Because it's the 12-quart machine, how much mix are we going to put in?
5 quarts.
Say it loud.
5 quarts.
5 quarts. Lisa was one of the star pupils in the class. She took to these machines like nobody's business. I'm blown away by that. So 5 quarts. Now, should I tell them the trick or not? No.
Of course.
Yes? When you're measuring stuff with either a measuring cup or a container that has marks on it, don't have it facing you, because then you're trying to pour and look down at the same time. Rather, turn it away from you, and now as you pour, you can easily see the gradation markings on it. So we're going to go with 5 quarts. So now I don't have to bend down and try to spill this. I can look right here and see it. What a great tip that is. There we go, 5 quarts, and it faces that way. And do it with these too. It's so much simpler. Instead of this way when you're pouring, and then you got to go like that and looking up and pour, just turn it around and go for it. You can deposit 30 cents in that jar when you leave. That's a 30-cent tip. Okay, so we have this. Let's add it to the machine. There's only 2 ingredients here. So let's get, I always put a bucket underneath as opposed to Steve who doesn't, but I do. Okay, so we'll add this. 5 quarts of mix. There it is. Okay, 5 quarts of mix. About 5 years ago, I discovered we have a coffee bar. I told you about that. Well, they have flavorings for the coffees because people sometimes want, a flavored cappuccino or a flavoring in their coffee. So the premier company who does this is Torani, T-O-R-A-N-I. And I went on a favorite site of mine, and I found that Torani makes about 200 flavors of different flavors. 200 bottles of different flavors. Everything you can imagine. So I ordered a bunch, and I tried it. It was great in the coffee. People loved it. And one day, I was making ice cream, and I thought, well, let me see what I have over there to add. And I had this, raspberry, because they make cherry and mint, just everything you can imagine. So I made my thing with ice cream, and I discovered that Torani is so good, I bought all different kinds. And now, if you want to make great ice cream, just throw a bottle of this in with the mix, and you got great ice cream. Well, you'll see if you like it or not. So what we're going to do, what's that?
It just fell down.
Okay, so we're going to start it up at 234 revolutions per minute. I wish you could smell this. But you can't. And we're going to add this. How much should we add? Well, you tell me when to stop. I don't hear you. Stop. Okay. Good call. And just because you're here, I probably may not do this, but because you're here, I happen to have bought, I always use Hershey's dark chocolate chips, milk chocolate chips, and white chocolate chips. And I found that Hershey makes a pretty good chip. Nestle is okay too, but I like Hershey's. But then I was doing some research and I came across chocolate chunks. Chocolate chunks. And it was from a premier company. Has anybody ever heard of Barry Callebaut?
Barry?
Yeah, Barry.
Never.
You have. They're rather expensive, but who cares, right? We're making so much money. These are unbelievable. When you taste these in your ice cream, you'll know you had a Barry Callebaut chip. So let's add some of these in. Tell me when to stop. And that's it. Now, of course, before we proceed, I want to taste it. I want to see if it's exactly what I want. If not, I can add something. My biggest problem is that I always add more. I like it really flavored. So I happen to have a little more of this here because knowing me, I knew I might want a little more. So I'm going to add a little more. How much we got? About a quarter of a bottle? Well, you can't put it away, so you might as well do that. Now,
Is that how you make your alcohol base?
I drink a little, put some in the machine. Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Okay, now we're ready to roll because I know it's going to be there. And that's it, a very simple ice cream. Now, Mike, if you can follow me over here. Look, from the very simple vanilla, which if you want to make an amazing vanilla, just take your ice cream mix, a bottle of that, and the vanilla beans that we learned how to scrape yesterday, and add those, and you'll get the specks in your, those little specks that say, ooh, this must be good, it's got the specks in it. It'll be, because of that, it'll be phenomenal. It's phenomenal ice cream. And I have raspberry butter rum, salted caramel. Salted caramel. It's so cool. Just take your mix, add a bottle of that, take a handful of kosher salt or coarse salt, or even the pink Himalayan salt, throw it in, and take a can of Lion's caramel or Ghirardelli caramel. I think I have some here. Yes. Ghirardelli caramel. Throw some of this in. And that salted is going to make your reputation. People are going to talk about it for years, salted caramel. The only problem is you have to always have it because everybody's going to want it. It's an amazing flavor.
Does that pour? Does that pour pretty good? Caramel?
Is it what?
Does it pour?
This?
Good?
Oh, sure. Oh, sure. And, I teach how to make the swirls in the ice cream. That's on video. You've seen those. You make the variegate, it's called, where the ice cream, remember the old-time vanilla fudge when we were kids? And it was white ice cream and it had the swirls? That's what I teach. Very simple. It's ridiculous how to do it. But you could make salted caramel ice cream using the Tyranny, the base, the mix, a little salt, a little I like that Himalayan salt. And then when it's done, you take the caramel and make a swirl going through it. Huh? I mean, Now, another company, oh, look at this one. We talked about this. Tiramisu. Give me a break. I mean, a bottle of this and some mix, and then you add, what's in tiramisu? What is tiramisu? Like those little cookie things or on the...
Powder, the ladyfinger.
So you add some, you go to the store and you get Vienna fingers. You know about Vienna fingers? Boy, are they good. They're the oval cookie with the cream in the middle. Throw a bunch of those in there with this. I'm telling you, this business is simple. It's only the people who complicate it that have problems. If you keep it simple, 2-3 ingredients, that's it, and treat everybody good, what's the recipe for success? Number 1.
Make the best product.
Make the best product. That means don't skimp. Buy Oreos, not Schmoreos. Buy M&Ms instead of Glemonms. Buy the real deal. Buy Snickers. Buy Hershey's. Buy Milky Way. Buy the real deal. Jell-O cheesecake, no-bake cheesecake. It's not Walmart no-bake cheesecake, because that's crap. Buy the better stuff. Is it going to matter to our profit? No. Are we going to make a ton of money? Mm-hmm. I won't even go into that. What was I doing here talking about?
Recipe for success.
Oh, the recipe for success. Number 1, make the best product, regardless of the cost, because you're going to make a ton of money. Make the best product. Number 2,
Charge a fair price.
charge a fair price. Fair for you and fair for them. And the fair price, I won't tell you what it is, but it's a number that is absolutely the number to charge. And number 3, which is a challenge for me, but I manage, is to
Treat everybody like your best friend.
treat everybody like your best friend. I'm so proud of you. Treat everybody like your best friend. And of course, the 4th one, which I added a few years ago, is no plan B. You make up your mind to get into this business, you can't fail unless you're a real yo-yo. Do it. It's like standing on the edge of the swimming pool and you're afraid because that water's 8 feet deep and you don't know what the hell's going to happen. You're going to die. You're going right to the bottom. It's a leap of faith. But you know what? You don't die. You don't go to the bottom. You go in, and then the rest of your life, you're swimming in the swimming pool. This is what you should do. You should get into this business. The profit that we worked out, we made Italian ices in class, we made cream ice, and we made ice cream. And we worked out exactly the cost for all 3 and the profit. And I don't think there's a product on earth that has this profit. There isn't. There's no product that has this profit. So anyway, not to go on a tangent, Monin is a competitor of Tyranny, and they make good stuff too, just not as many. And one of the things they make is cookie butter, which is wild. Woo, it's almost ready. So if you have questions, you can ask me now, and then we'll repeat them during the Q&A. But I can't impress upon you. Look, I got into this business when I was 60. 60. None of you here are even 60. But I got into it at 60, and then 10 years, well, it took me 5 years to make $1 million, but 10 years, I sold it because I wanted to live at the beach. And now we're at the beach, and I'm sitting around for 3 months, and I got to do something. So I found a great location. It's an old 7-Eleven right on the beach. So I took it. It'll be open in a couple of weeks. And now I'm 72. So,
Just a boy.
Just a boy.
I'm just a boy. I'm just a boy, Grandpa. And it's, yes.
So, money-wise, what's the minimum if you have to buy the batch, the freezers, the fridges, and the supplies, pay the rent? What would you think of the number for starting?
To start up? I can go with any of you, no matter what city you're in, and you give me $17,000, and I'll give you a brand new Emery Thompson, and you'll pay your first month, and you'll have the supplies, and we'll be in there making ice cream in 2 weeks.
I'll fly you up about 2 months.
17. Now, to have a little more is better. I'm doing this one on 20, this store. And that's everything. You don't believe me. Nobody believes me.
The freezers.
The freezers are $150.
Those are like the same ones you get from Home Depot, deep freezers?
That's Sam's Club, yeah.
Okay.
I'm telling you. I did it once and now I'm doing it again. I put $20,000 to do this store now, and I got tons of money left, and we're going to be open in 2 weeks. And that's with a brand new Emery Thompson machine.
But what if you have to remodel in order to like accommodate?
Let him do it. Let him do
He's not
it.
a plumber or
No, I had to pay my contractor $6,000 to do plumbing and electric. Why am I standing here? Oh, spoon. See, nobody's helping me now. So. They just left me for myself. You're gonna freak. Is this the simplest? You know what? Most people who come to this class and my class, especially him, they don't understand how simple this all is, right? This is ludicrous. You can't do anything else this simple. You make the ice cream, which is really easy. You sell the ice cream, which is really fun, and you go to the bank. It's just. See, you're laughing. You don't believe it.
Oh, yeah, no, I believe it.
It's so simple. You know what gets in the way of people? One thing. This is what will hinder you from being successful in this business. It's a 3-letter word. John, tell them what that word is.
Ego.
Ego. That's what'll stop you. Oh, I want granite countertops with the curve coming around and a hole in there to put my trash. Oh, the lighting. I want Tiffany lamps all around. And you know what? The floor, take this floor up. Let's put checkerboard tiles like in the old days. And let's charge $7.50 for the ice cream because it's worth it. Ego. Remember, one of our famous presidents said, walk softly and carry a big stick. That was FDR, wasn't it? Walk softly and carry a big stick. Teddy Roosevelt, one of those Roosevelts. You know, they were cousins. I didn't know that. Anyway, walk softly, carry a big stick. It means, yeah, I own an ice cream store. And everybody thinks, oh, you own an ice cream store. Yeah, but meanwhile, you're making a ton of money. Your family's happy. You got a future for your kids. Just be humble. Don't let ego get involved. I think we're ready. Are we ready? Is this working? Mike, are we on?
It's ready.
Okay, thank you. The voice of reason. Okay, let's take this.
Jeff, can I ask you a question?
What?
If I wanted to put frozen raspberries in that ice cream, what
Absolutely.
would I do? Blend them up?
Sure. Whip them up in the Ninja, make a little puree or something out of it, and throw them in. Nice color.
It is a nice color. What flavor?
This is raspberry chip, raspberry chunk.
Nice.
Take one of those over there,
Yeah.
and we'll get a third one out. And this is the world's simplest ice cream. You know, 2 ingredients. Oh, we threw in chips, pardon me. 3 ingredients. But you don't need chips if you don't want. And what could you use instead of chips? Give me some ideas. What could we use instead of chips?
Fresh pieces of fruit.
We could use the fruit, like Lisa said. We could use Heath bar pieces. We could use chips. We could use pieces of cookies. White chocolate. White. Remember yesterday we made something that we thought white would go better with?
That lavender flavor.
Right. Yesterday we made lavender ice cream. And
Oh, where'd you get that idea?
oh, stop.
From Steve Thompson. Holy cow.
Here, let's use this also first,
Okay.
maybe.
All right.
We need more cups and spoons. No, we're good.
We're
you
good.
need a scoop.
So how many quarts out of there from just...
Gallons. How many gallons? We got 2.5 gallons. 2.5 gallons. And there's more. We can probably get to that
10
third
quarts,
gallon.
which is the normal capacity of the machine. You can run 12 quarts, but now you're dividing up a bag of mix and it throws everything off. The people who run the machine as a 12 quart are the Italian ice people because they're making sugar and water and making their own formula. Well, they're making their own formula. Here we're buying it in a bag so we can divide the bag into 2 batches. Makes it a lot easier.
Okay, you do the cups, I'll do the scoops.
All right, will do.
No, okay, gotcha. So, oh boy, this is good. You haven't had enough ice cream yet, have you?
No.
Okay.
Oh, hey, we haven't even begun and you haven't seen the last flavor of the day.
Oh boy.
Oh man, it's going to be a killer, literally. It's going to be right up there with Sharknado. It's going down in history.
Did you see? Were you here when my reaction to it was before?
No, I didn't
tasted
see it. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, did you taste batch 1 or batch 2?
Oh, I don't know. Just what Christy gave me to taste.
Okay. Well, she might have been trying to kill you. So if it was batch 1, it would do it.
Jeff, do you, as far as like selling cones compared to dishes of ice cream?
I don't sell cones. Why don't I sell cones? Beth, why don't I sell cones?
Because it's messy and kids...
Because it's messy and kids eat cones.
And it's limited to only about 4 ounces because otherwise more than that is just falling
Correct.
off.
And don't forget, homemade ice cream melts quicker than the other stuff that you buy.
I have an article I can send you if you email me for it called Cups versus Cones.
Oh, I didn't see that.
I'll send you a copy.
Okay.
And Jeff has been doing it for his whole career because of the reasons he said. I've been doing it based on a Domino pizza ad I saw with the concept being in the COVID, we don't want our food touched. We know in our minds, we know that pizza's made by somebody. But the whole commercial is the pizza coming out of the oven with the big paddle, dropping into a box. The box magically closes. The box magically shows up at a house with a father and a mother and 2 kids. And the box, you don't see any hands, is delivered to them. And the voiceover is going, at no time has your food been touched by our employees.
Right.
And that's what we're doing with the cups because we can do it behind their back and they're not really seeing it as opposed to the cone where we're touching you to hand you the cone.
And I just do it because it's a mess, and I don't need my girls or my staff or me cleaning up all day long on the floor. Because most of the time the cones are bought by kids. Kids have no attention span, so they're on their phone over here. The cone is melting and dripping on the floor. Next thing you know, some old lady comes in, she slips on the ice cream on the floor, and then you're getting a call from the lawyer, and just don't sell cones.
I did a series of ice cream parlors in Philadelphia years ago, and the idea of the store was they directed you down to the back of the store. The greeter greets you. Would you walk around with these while I walk around with these? Oh, we got it, Jeff. No, we got it, Christy. Thanks.
What are we doing?
You're welcome.
You're doing it your way.
Glad to be of assistance.
I'll give you this if you don't mind.
I don't mind.
So the idea was to push you into a cup, and it was ingenious. They had a long line like this. You walk up to the line, and the server greets you.
Christy, dude. He's on a roll here.
I am on a roll. The person greets you and says, "Hi, would you like your ice cream in a cup or a cone?" We're pushing the cup. Okay, I'll take the cup. Same server then walks over here to what's called a Bain Marie. It's a refrigerated bin, little stainless bins, M&Ms, granolas, strawberries, whatever you want. Would you like would you like anything on your ice cream? Would you like some M&Ms? Sure. There's 10 cents. How about some chocolate chips? Sure, there's 10 cents. They're agreeing to the price. And then they take it down here, and they finish the sale, and while that's happening, the second person is greeting and saying, "Hi, would you like your ice cream in a cup or a cone?" When I was young, I would go to Baskin-Robbins, and to me it was the survival of the biggest. And I was big, but only in width, not height. And so it was just after a football game, and the football players were all in there, and it's everybody rams the front counter. They've got 3 servers. And so unless you're a football player or large in stature, you were not going to get served for a while. And when you did get served, hi, what would you like? I'd like a banana split with chocolate sauce and no nuts. Okay, the person serves that, hands it to someone else, who then puts on the chocolate sauce and nuts,
Raspberry
and then hands
chunks.
it to someone else and says that'll be $3.25. Well, it was handled by 3 different people, and they got the order wrong. With this guy's method of, can I help you with the cone or a cup? What would you like, some toppings? We're adding value, added cost to the product, and then they complete the sale. And the problem we had with this 20 years ago was completing the sale, because I scooped your ice cream and now I'm handling your money, a lot of use of credit cards. But now everything is gloves. That problem goes away. So if you can avoid the cones, I think it's a great idea. I think Jeff is right for his reasons too.